What is going on, everyone? Football Villain here with another trophy review and thoughts video for you today. Recently I earned the Platinum for Street Outlaws The List on PlayStation 4, and I have to tell you, this one was a little bit of a snoozer if you like racing games. The Platinum, I would actually give it a 2 or 3 out of 10. Very simple, very straightforward. There isn't really a whole lot that will stump you up. However, if you've never played a drag racing type of car game, it might stump you up just a little bit if you're not familiar with it, but honestly, it's really not too difficult. The good thing is, for this game, there are no online trophies, and I do believe that there are no split screen trophies where you have to play, such as like a couch co-op or something along those lines. So there's nothing really, in terms of multiplayer, there's nothing that will stump you up or avoid you from getting the Platinum. I think the biggest, critique about this game is just how poorly some of the I guess you could say, I want to say maps, but it's not really maps. It's like some of the tracks, just they're constantly rinsing and repeating the same event, the same exact thing over and 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 over. You get the point. But I do think that is the major flaw of this game. But if you do want an easy, like, racing, drag racing, any sort of car Platinum, this is not a bad one to go for. I think there's also a couple of things I want to iterate with some of the different trophies in the game. So for the car performance trophies, you have 2500, 3500, 4500 car performance. You'll get those naturally. However, the 4500 car performance, you really have to keep upgrading your stuff and really keep, trying to find the best numbered part. Because I think the way, if I remember correctly, the way the parts work, it's like you get a part and it'll be like 300 max, and the next time you could get a part and it's like 301 max. So it's like you have to constantly keep searching for that one part, that one little point above what the other one is. So it's nothing too bad, but it's definitely something that I should say. But there are, like I said, a lot of easy trophies, like equipping a car skin, and I think there is a few other. Restart a race, jump a total of 60 seconds in bullseye. That's just a cumulative. I think I might actually show it there. Well, maybe not. But there is a couple of trophies that you will see me doing the bullseye activity. And basically what it is, if you guys haven't checked my other video, where I ended up breaking the game and falling through the map, that was the bullseye activity that I was actually doing at the time. But a lot of the trophies are super easy. Release the brake too early in a drag race, that's easy. Complete a track with all modifiers enabled, that's easy. You just got to do it. And then basically the rest of it is just completing the game. So just reaching all the tiers and beating all the competition. Now, I will say the way the progression works in this game, it's like you do 5 activities, and then once you do 5 activities, you are able to race like the boss. So I don't know if any of y'all have played Need for Speed Most Wanted back on the PS3, or if you have played Need for Speed Most Wanted from the PS2 days on 2005, you may have known back then they have like a system where you fight a boss, and then once you fight the boss, you go up to the next rank. and then you fight them. That is actually kind of the same exact kind of idea that this game actually has. So very obviously dumbed down compared to those games where you only do 5 activities, and then once you do those 5 activities, you do a drag race 1v1. As you can kind of see here, this is kind of the layout you will have, and then the boss fight obviously is, the guy to the right that's you're going up against. I do want to reiterate something though. Also, when you are doing these 1v1s against the other person, definitely make sure that your car is upgraded. Because I'm not going to lie to you, like, if your car is about the same exact horsepower as the other guy, you're probably not going to win. You really need to have, like, an overpowered type vehicle when you're going up against these guys. Like, it's always better to, have just a little bit better or slightly better vehicle than the guy you're going up against. Because if you're definitely underpowered in this game, you're just not going to have a chance. There's just no chance. And another thing I want to go ahead and reiterate too is when you do win, as I mentioned, you do go up. So like if you're fighting the 10th, boss, you go up to the 9th one, do activities, then beat the 9th one, you go up to the 8th. However, if you lose the drag race, then whenever you lose the drag race, let's say you beat the 10th boss, but then you lose to the 9th boss. Well, if you lose to the 9th boss, then you have to fight the 10th boss again immediately, like right after that race. And if you lose again, then you go back down to the 10th boss and have to do all that process all over again. But if you lose to the 9th boss, then beat the 10th boss, then you're back at the same spot where you have to just do the 5 activities and the 9th boss. But if you lose both, you have to go all the way back down to 10. So I just want to let you guys know on that. I did lose a couple of times in this, and it's honestly just because I tried to do stuff when I was like 30 levels underpowered and 20 horsepower off and that type of stuff. I tried to wing it and see if I could just fly through it like that, but there really isn't no winging it. You kind of just have to have stuff that's better. I mean, honestly. And that's really all there is to it. I know there's a trophy for finding so many parts in a junkyard. You'll get that really easy. I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't get that super quick. I do remember there was a trophy for, I think, beating... No, it wasn't for beating somebody. Oh, the trophy was called Make My Day, and it was obtain a reaction time of 100,000th of a second or less. That can be very tricky. On the, basically, as you see in this video right here, you kind of have to time your jump whenever you go, and basically the best way I can describe to get that trophy is you basically have to time it perfect. So like as you're wanting to go and hitting the R2 button, like you have to time it with ready, set, go. So like as it says a go, you have to be on the R2 at the same time. And when you do that, by the time you get to that first spot, you'll have the 100,000th of a reaction time. I know that sounds kind of confusing the way I kind of worded that, but you'll see when you do play the game. It's not too bad, but it does take some getting used to. I'm trying to think if there's absolutely anything else. Hit your first bump barrel. You'll notice in the activities there'll be like little red barrels, and if you hit them, they'll like shoot you across the map. So yeah, try not to hit any of those at all. And here is the activity that I was telling you guys about. I can't remember the activity now. But that was the bullseye activity. That was it right there in the video. But and I just got the trophy in that video, in that part, for the 3500. Looks like for the 3500 performance. So yeah, like I said, complete the tutorial. I mean, obviously easy. Reach tier 2, 3, reach the list, which is like basically where you have to fight the 10 bosses and obtain first place on the list. And then there's also trophies for beating all of the people on the list. So like once you beat all 10 of them, you'll have 10 separate trophies for each of the bosses on the list. So there's 10 separate trophies for that. Equip a platinum part. That's pretty easy too. You'll just get that whenever you're going through and upgrading your stuff and that sort of thing. So you really don't have to worry about anything like that. And I'm trying to think if there really is anything else. I mean, there is complete a platinum challenge. You'll have platinum challenges throughout the game. There really shouldn't be anything too difficult about that. Just because it's platinum doesn't mean it's difficult. Nothing in this game is difficult, but like I said at the very, very beginning of this video, you definitely need to make sure you try to understand kind of what's going on here, because the drag racing is a little bit finicky. I'm not going to lie. When you first start it, you're probably not going to like it. It's probably going to really throw you off. As you see, my drag car definitely pulled to the right a lot. As you see, it pulls to the left a lot. You can fool with the settings. I didn't really fool with them. What I did find out about this game, the less you touch your analog stick for all that pull, the better off you honestly are. And if you're on these big airstrips like in this video here, you really won't have much of an issue at all. Even if it pulls like it, you kind of see how it's pulling there to the left. I'm actually not doing that. That is not me moving the analog stick at all. That is the game doing that. And sometimes in this game, for some reason, it likes to pull to the left or pull to the right. And basically, if you go across the other person's lane, it'll disqualify you. So, like I said, it's a little finicky in that sort of way, but once you kind of get a feel for it, it's really not bad at all. And honestly, once you do get a feel for it, you'll fly right through this game. Like I said, it took me probably 8 to 12 hours to do that, and that's from the first trophy to the last trophy. Like, that's me just playing it, and I think in terms of hours, I've got like 8 to 10 hours. Like, it's very, very easy for a racing game, like I said. And the only reason I'm even giving it a 3 out of 10 is really just because of, like, as you see in the video there, where it pulls to the left, pulls to the right. You just, that type of stuff right there is a little bit of adjusting, but it's honestly nothing too bad. Would I consider this a great game, though? Not really. In terms of what I think of it, I just think it's one of those kind of games where it's kind of just a filler. It's nothing super spectacular to write home about, but it's at least, kind of decent. I have played worse games, but I do not consider this game great by any stretch of the imagination. But I do think it's not a bad game. I'll just say that. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else in terms of trophy-wise. Like I said, I pretty much gave you pretty much the whole trophy list right there. I don't think there's anything else that I haven't spoken on or anything. I do know that, like I said, with the tracks, there are certain tracks that are a lot more leeway on the, you moving to the left or right side to not get disqualified. But then there's other tracks where, the leniency for it is very small. So, you just have to be careful. And I think with like the with the upgrading stuff, as you see there in the video there, I had a spark plug, and if you notice there on the bottom, it had A, B, C, and D all highlighted. You have to make sure you basically get the best part, and all of them have A, B, C, and D on all the parts. And the reason why I say that is because you will not have a 4500 performance level, and you basically need a 4500 performance level to face the boss, because if you don't, you just don't have enough to defeat him. But anyways, guys, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I pretty much covered pretty much everything you need to know. I'm sorry that this wasn't, I guess, a more enjoyable video than what I normally try to make it out to be. I'm kind of just blabbering, but there really isn't a whole lot going on with this game at all. It's pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory, but there's a few things, just, you know, kind of pay attention to those, and yeah, you really shouldn't have much of a problem. But if you do, leave it down in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe if you guys haven't already. And as always, I will catch you guys in either the next video or the next live stream. Until then, take it easy.
Now that was a drag race.